Alright, so we're going to make some hamburger stew for those who know what hamburger stew is. Sorry, it's going to be greasy and messy. Yeah, we're starting with browning some hamburgers. That's the first step. Brown a pound of hamburgers. That is the first step. Okay, so the hamburger is browned. And now it's good. I wanted to say earlier, I forgot to say earlier, you can use like stew meat, you can use steak, whatever you want to use. This is just the most affordable version. Okay, so next, we took all the beef out, all the hamburger out, and left the oil. So now we're going to do carrots first, and then, going to hold this for me for a second. Carrots first, and then celery, because they take the longest to cook. So we're not cooking them all, like all right now. So we're going to do the carrots first. Let them cook for a minute, then we'll add the celery. And I forgot to add Worcestershire, but I would usually do that when I cook the meat, and I didn't add it, so we're going to add it later. We're going to add some beef broth in here later too. But so, brown your beef, put it to the side, out of the pan, leave the grease. That's what these are going to cook in. If you don't want to leave the grease, you can just use olive oil or Crisco, whatever you want to use. So we're going to salt these up. We're going to put a little salt. We're going to put layers of seasoning on every time we do something. We're going to put a little layer of salt on it. So this time we're going to be using Himalayan pink salt. Just a little bit, not too much. A bit of pepper.
It's right there, behind the season salt.
Alright, so we're going to cook these carrots up for a minute, and then we're going to throw the celery in. Okay, the carrots have cooked for a couple minutes. We're not trying to cook them all the way through, just kind of get a little bit of a little starter, get them heated up. And now, celery. Again, I'm going to season. Mama's going to season it for me. Just a little bit, that's enough, yeah. And this will, all the salt will dehydrate, so it's going to make all these vegetables sweat, for those who don't know. And cook faster. That's the hamburger. Okay, now we add the garlic. Alright, so garlic we've added. Now we add the onions. That looks like the carrots smuggled their way over to the onions. So adding onions. Then we're going to season it again. Our trailer oven is very old. A little salt, a little bit of pepper. We used one whole onion. This wasn't a really big, it was like a medium-sized onion. And I think I used 6 or 7 garlic cloves, 4 carrots, about 6 celery stalks, or celery chopped, and yeah, that's where we're at right now. Okay, now imagine all those smells, that aroma, the carrots, the celery, the onions, the garlic. I mean, we need smell-o-vision. This smells heavenly right now. So right now we're just going to let them cook for a little bit. Hopefully start, and then we'll deglaze the pan next. A little bit of Worcestershire. Okay, now we're going to add some Worcestershire to the mix. You know, whatever to your preferability, but it is just cooking. It's not like baking. But yeah, okay, so we added some Worcestershire. I'm gonna let that heat up in there. I'm gonna mix the vegetables. Deglaze anything that might be burnt on the bottom. That's where that extra taste comes from. Just let this cook for, stirring. Like I said, we're not trying to cook the vegetables. They're going to sit and cook for a while. So we're just trying to sweat them a little bit. So now we've mixed in a can of tomato sauce. Just a small can. You don't need a big one. For that tomato base. Smelling yummy. I almost forgot soy sauce. It's definitely a good one. Add that soy sauce in there just a little bit. And I seasoned it a little bit lightly. Again, every layer, pretty much. I mean, I seasoned with the onions and garlic together, and the celery together with the carrots. And seasoned both times when I added those. This is a teaspoon for every cup. This is the beef bouillon I was talking about. So we're just gonna add a little bit, because we're going to be putting water in here, making a broth. Next step is water or liquid. You can use broth if you want to, but we use water because we already put some broth in there. And what we're going to do is we want to save enough room for our potatoes that we put in there. So we don't want to fill it all the way to the top. So this is going to be the point where you kind of let it come to a boil and then turn it down and put a lid on it. Turn it down to like the lowest heat, or when it, if you leave the lid off a little bit, if you listen to it, it's just popping in there. And again, you want to season at this point too when you add the liquid. So salt and pepper again, some garlic if you want to put it in there. Probably going to throw a little garlic and onion salt in there, or onion powder in there too. If you have a bay leaf, this is a good thing. It's a good time to add it. Or bay leaves. I don't have any bay leaves right now, so we're just going to wing it. All right, I've added my hamburger back into the mix. Stirring it around. We're just going to wait for it to come to a boil. Then we're going to turn it down. We're on high right now. You could probably do this on 4, but I'm impatient, so I'm going to do it on 5. I'm going to put it on 11. Okay, we're going to let that come to a boil, and then we're going to put the lid on it before we put the potatoes on it. We're going to let all these other vegetables cook, like the carrots. They take a lot longer than the potatoes. Okay, now we got the lid on. It's been sitting for a while, about 10 minutes. But on the lowest setting, see, it's bubbling even at the lowest setting. So now we put in our potatoes. Cubed potatoes. We did about 5 small ones, small to medium. And then put the lid back on and let her cook for about, I don't know, probably an hour. Maybe 45 minutes. Then we're going to add some frozen peas. Okay, so we got it cooking. It's about, I don't know, it's almost halfway done. It's been cooking. So now we're going to add, ketchup. Be liberal with it. Hold on, let me see if I can get it. I'll hold the camera. So we're just going to pour some of that in there. Gives it that extra tomato flavor, and it's got a little bit of sweetness in there too. So, yes, ketchup next, and stir it. It's all looking good in there. Stir it and cover it for another 45 minutes. All right, now everything's done. I've checked the carrots, I've checked the potatoes. They're all cooked, so now we're going to add the peas. And maybe season it one more time. I think I was tasting it kind of over time, and I think it needs a little more ketchup, actually. Maybe a touch of sugar. Let me get that out of the light for you. Oh, look at that goodness. Look at that goodness. Mm-hmm. So now all you do is let it come back up to a little simmer. Let it simmer for about 5 to 15 minutes, depending on your altitude where you're boiling. So we're going to put the lid back on this and let it come back up to a boil on a low heat. It's on 2 right now. I've had to kind of go between 1 and 2 with this burner. So, all right, we just added our peas. It's getting dark, so sorry about the lighting, but we just added our peas. Now we're going to add, I just saw something in the, open that for me? I just saw something in the spice cabinet. Why not some paprika? And this is the cool thing and the fun thing about making this. You can add a lot of different things, whatever you want. And then parsley. Well, that's getting dark, isn't it? I know you can't see it right now, but we're going to add some parsley, just dried parsley flakes. It's about done. So, good. And then some Italian seasoning, which is a bunch of other herbs. Oh, we have no Italian seasoning
We're
left?
still gone?
Oh, yeah, we got a little bit in there. Anyway, okay, so Italian seasoning. Yep. Okay, now it's time to plate or bowl, whatever you want to say. So if you want to thicken up the sauce a little bit, you can do like cornstarch. But I usually just let the potatoes the starch from the potatoes. But you can make it thicker with like cornstarch or flour. You just have to whisk a little bit of cornstarch or flour with water before you pour it in, or it'll get clumpy. So here we go. The reveal. Our point of view. I don't know. POV is a popular term, right? And make sure you like and share this if you like this recipe. And let us know if you do make it. Or if you've made something similar. Let us know in comments. Like and subscribe. Follow. You're dripping all over the lid there.
Well.
All right, babe. So you ready?
Yes.
Okay, babe. What do you think? Let us know what you think. Oh, you didn't even lift the bowl up.
Yeah, well.
You didn't present it. There we go. They don't know what you're eating.
It's very hot. Just got off the stove.
Right on. And that is our hamburger stew.
Very good.
Much love, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video. And the dogs are saying hi, too.
Yeah. They want some too.
Yeah.